This chicken here, some of it is turned yellow and probably been here since yesterday, sitting in the full sun, almost 40-degree heat, and it'll sit here all day. When you buy street food without refrigeration, this is what you're eating. Absolutely unhygienic conditions and unfit for human consumption. And if you're buying street food at $1.50 or $2 and it involves chicken, beef or pork, then this is where they buy it from. And the older the chicken, the cheaper it is. So I'd think twice before eating cheap street food that you think is cheap. You can end up with long-term health effects. You get all types of diseases, intestinal worms, or end up in hospital with severe food poisoning. And you think that $2 or $1.50 meal is cheap, and this is what you're eating. Completely unfit for human consumption. It is yellow and probably been here since yesterday, sitting in the full sun. So my personal opinion is only eat from places that have got refrigeration. No refrigeration, do not eat it. So okay for Khmer, who've got the stomach for it, but Westerners, the water they're washing the chicken in is polluted water, not clean, and probably the same water they've been using yesterday and the day before. This is animal intestines, mostly pork, that is chopped up and added to your $1.50 meal. And usually when it's been cooked, it's almost unfit for human consumption, so they cook it to make it last a few more days, and this is what you're eating. You think you're eating pork, but it's actually intestines, which was a few days ago been selling fresh and then not sold, and then they cook it. They buy their pork from here, and this pork is in 30-40 degree heat and just hangs here all day long. The stuff that hasn't been sold yesterday or the day before is sold really, really cheap to these cheap restaurants where you go and, you know, food stalls where you buy a bread roll with pork or meat in it or chicken for $1, $1.50 and think you're getting a good meal or a good deal, when in fact you're eating stuff that's not even fit for human consumption. Later on in the video I'll show you some restaurants where you can buy top quality pork and eat for $2 in refrigeration restaurants for $2. And the idea of saying, oh, I'm supporting the locals, so are the other restaurants that sell good quality products and meat and meals for $2. They're also local. Fly in, fly out tourists who think they know everything in 1 or 2 days, and then put it on YouTube. Down here is skinned and frogs ready for consumption, sitting in full day sun. Even at 4 o'clock this afternoon, they wouldn't have sold them all. and they're sitting in full day sun, and probably some of these are mixed up that have been sitting in the full day sun all day yesterday too. Unfit for human consumption and can cause serious health effects the next day or 2 days or months or years later. This is a mixture of intestines from different animals, pigs, beef and chicken, and it's beyond human consumption. Some it's probably been here for 1 or 2 days in the full sun. Here's some more, and this is what is added to, you know, the cheap food stalls that sell food on the side of the street, and you think you're getting a good deal at $1.50 or $1 or $2 a meal with pork or chicken or beef, and this is what actually you're getting in your meal. These chickens here are yellow, are beyond human consumption. Probably been hanging here since yesterday in the full sun. And this is what the cheap stall holders at the markets that you get meals for $1, $1.50 use. The older the chicken, the cheaper they are. You know about chicken, you know, bacteria sets in the minute the chicken is killed, and here it's been hanging in the full sun for 24, 48 hours. I can smell it from here, absolutely disgusting smell. But this is what the mall, the markets and that sell. You know, you get your chicken dish for $1.50 and some rice, and this is the chicken they use. If you could smell this chicken, absolutely disgusting. The white ones are the fresh ones, the ones with the yellow have probably been here for 3 days in the extreme heat, and they're sold really, really cheap to the restaurants that sell, or you know, the food markets that where you go and get a meal for $1.50 in chicken and think it's, you know, top class and you're getting a bargain. You're eating meat that's unfit for human consumption and could cause long-term health effects later down in life, and if not the next day put you in hospital, or you'll have severe diarrhea. You know, you've got these fly-in, fly-out tourists that come here, and within 24 hours they're an expert on eating cheap. I'm going to take to a restaurant which is fully hygienic and has everything on ice and uses top quality products, and is only $1.50 and $2 and $3, where you can eat in top, you know, eat top quality meat and hygienic conditions for $2 or $3, rather than eat this meat that's unfit for human consumption. There's so many videos on YouTube with these fly-in, fly-out tourists that think they know everything after 24 hours. I've been in Cambodia for years and years and years, and I know what happens. This chicken here could be here for another 2 days in the full sun, and they add curry to it and spices to make it look and smell nice, but at the moment it actually smells absolutely revolting. You can tell the difference between the ones that are put out fresh today and the ones that have been sitting here for 1 or 2 days. And the longer they become contaminated with bacteria and the more they stink, the cheaper they are for the so-called, you know, cheap restaurants and food stalls and food markets around Cambodia. If you could smell this now, you'd be vomiting. This meat hangs like this all day long in extreme heat, 30 plus for days on end, and the older it gets, the cheaper it gets, and that's what you end up eating, and you think you're eating a bargain or getting a bargain for $1, $1.50 or $2. This is chicken and pork, you know, unfit for human consumption. Okay for Khmer because they're used to it, but for Westerners it's a total health hazard. No refrigeration. If you eat at a place that has no refrigeration, you're only looking for trouble later on in life, or the next day, or the same day. No refrigeration, and the temperature in here has to be, you know, close to 40. Absolutely stifling heat, and it's sitting behind glass. It's like, you know, being inside a glass house in a 40-degree heat. And you think it's a bargain by spending $1.50 or $2 getting a meal, and these fly out tourists think, oh, and they put it on YouTube, and other tourists come and fall for the same mistake. These restaurants at the markets, central markets, Russia markets, and when you're walking around town, are only designed for the Khmer that have been brought up on this food, and they're immune to, you know, the food that's unfit for human consumption. For the average European or tourist, it's not. So I'm about to take you to a restaurant where you can buy top quality food, meals, and the small meals is $2 and the big meal is $3. And I'll just show you the difference between quality and food that's unfit for human consumption. Now, I'm not far from Russia markets, 5 minutes walk where we just saw that food that's unfit for human consumption. Not far away, this is just one of hundreds of restaurants that serve top quality food. It's called Restaurant 72. And we'll go in and see what you get for $2 and $3. Compared with $1.50, $2 back, where we just come from, which is not fit for human consumption. And some tourists say, oh, I like to support the locals. Well, who do you think this restaurant is owned by? Donald Trump? Prince Charles? It's owned by locals. The staff are locals, family members. But they sell them good quality food in bulk. So their prices are cheap. So I'm going to show you what a $2 meal and a $3 meal looks like. And you know, it's run by local families, just like the other ones we've just been to that sell food that's unfit for human consumption. Fly in, fly out tourists that know absolutely nothing. And a lot of expats that lived here too. All they rely on is, you know, ring up, takeaway food, get it delivered every day to the door, costing $300 to $400 a month. I'm about to tell you what my total spending, including rent, and what I spend on food every month. I'll tell you after I've eaten or shown you what I'm having now.